Located in the heart of the Shenandoah Valley, Harrisonburg, Virginia, is home to Rise, a United Methodist Church which every Sunday transforms the local Court Square Theater into a place of worship. Rise is an open community where everyone is welcome. In 2012, Pastor Amanda Miller Garber was asked by two members to officiate at their same-sex wedding. After much thought, Pastor Amanda declined to perform the wedding.
I took my ordination vows very seriously, and I am not one to run around willy-nilly breaking promises to others and to God. And I had lived in this very painful, difficult place with what the Book of Discipline says for a long time. But at that point in time, I was simply too fearful of what the repercussions would be. Also, Rise was very, very young at that point. We're 5 now. But we were in this space where I was not sure that as a community we could withstand what could happen. And then I went to General Conference, and I experienced the venom and the rhetoric and the fear, the nauseating fear.
2 years later, she was asked again. This time her answer was yes.
I had an indescribable sense that this is what God wanted me to do. And it wasn't like glowing on the mountaintop or fireworks, or it's not the most dramatic kind of God message. It was just peace. It was just absolute peace.
When we can celebrate with your Son at his heavenly banquet, where all are feasting together and all are truly welcome.
The number one thing that has changed me, that has transformed me, that emboldened me to marry Brittany and Lindsay has been relationship and stories, and sitting with people who've shown me the cut marks on their arms, who've shown me the scars from where they've attempted suicide, who have left me speechless, who have trusted me enough to share their pain and their deep desire for companionship and love.
Let us pray.
That peace didn't last long. 36 hours after the marriage, she received a call from her superintendent telling her a complaint was filed.
I didn't know if I would have a job at the end, if I would have credentials, what would be left of Rise. I didn't know.
She was suspended from her congregation for a month without pay. Part of the punishment was that she could have no contact with her church community. She was also a target in the community.
I affectionately call it the season of public shaming, because it's when it all went really public. And while I received indescribably powerful support, I received some pretty awful messages.
I definitely feel like when Amanda was gone, this place drew together. It made us stronger. We all loved Amanda. We missed Amanda. I think it brought Rise closer together.
But the defiance by clergy is causing the church to separate even more.
When a clergy from the United Methodist Church performed the same-sex marriage, it breaks my heart. I'm really broken over that, and for many reasons, one of which is we made a covenant. We took a vow to uphold the discipline of the United Methodist Church, and it clearly states that we will not perform these types of ceremonies. And so it breaks my heart that we can enter into a covenant before God, the church, and say this is how we will live with one another, and then fail to do that.
In May 2014, the Good News Movement released a statement in behalf of more than 80 United Methodist pastors and theologians that called for a split in the denomination. The statement asserted, quote, "We need to recognize the reality that we, laity, clergy, and even the Council of Bishops, are divided and will remain divided," end quote.
What I'm afraid of is this, is you have two sides who have deeply held beliefs, and honestly, neither side is going to be able to compromise their most basic principles. What I hope will not happen is that we will decide that we're going to continue to fight this battle for the next 10, 15, 20 years and see who wins. It's like we're in a cage match. Go back to the wrestling world that I grew up in. And in a cage match, the fighters could not escape each other and they could not quit fighting. And that's where we United Methodists find ourselves. I don't want to be in a cage match for the next 20 years to see who wins, because the Church of Jesus Christ does not win in that narrative.
To keep the church together, the well